everyone, it's Tanya with KB Riley, and we are going to make this gorgeous pirate ship card today. It's a great day to be a pirate. This card is one of the genius creations by Karen, of course. It's created using the boat pop-up die, number 1277. And then you are going to add the pirate ship add-ons and the pirate borders and one of our brand new stamp sets, the Pirate Sentiments. You guys are going to love the new stamp set. So let's get started. First, I'm just going to take, I made this card a 5.5 by 5.5, so I'm just going to lay the light blue piece down first, okay? And then I'm going to lay a navy piece to the side. Now on the other side, I'm going to put the navy piece down first, and you will notice that there's a notch out of the left side, and that is because I used the pirate borders and cut that out first. Now you will understand why in a second, because we are going to grab the knives pirate borders, and they will fit right in that little notch that I cut out. Yay! See how easy that is? Now, all we're going to do is grab our fine line bottle and our glue and just sit that right in place. And you can't mess it up because we've already cut the lines, right? So we're going to tuck that right in where it goes. And then, if you notice, there are little black handles on this already. Now you're going to have a little over the edge, and that's okay, because we can just trim that off later. Now for the black handles, I'm going to share a little secret that Karen taught me. If you put your paper, the paper you want to cut out, on a piece of double-sided tape and run it through, it makes a little sticker. And then all you have to do is pull the back off of the sticker piece, and ta-da! You basically have a die-cut sticker. And we are just going to put those on those handles, just like that, and we're done. Now to trim that piece off, I always just fold my card and then do it from the outside. That way it's nice and even. Okay, now we're going to build the right side of the inside. So we're going to get one of the masts that's in there in the die set with the pirate add-ons. And we are going to grab our glue and just put that in place real quick. The next thing we are going to do, and I've already put this together because it takes a little while, but this is one of the treasure chests, and there's a back that I have cut out of wood grain paper, and then an overlay that I have done with a darker brown, and then there's really fun stuff like a little knife and the necklaces, and even a little ruby, I guess, just a ruby. And all I'm going to do is I am going to glue that to the bottom of the mast. Easy, right? Now I have used our crosshatch banners and cut out a white piece stamped yo ho ho on it, and then I just laid it on top of a regular gray piece and cut around it so I could have it the exact size. So we'll just glue that down, and then the stamps are fabulous. Just had to show you guys. It has so many fun little sayings in it. You're going to love them. And we have 5 different sets this time as well. So next up, I'm going to grab another sail that I've pre-cut, and I put a small black sail on top of a gray sail, and then I used one of the borders again, but it was the skull and the crossbones, and we're just going to glue that right on top. And see what a cute little inside that makes it. So simple, really, really so simple. Now, we're going to set that aside, and now we're going to build us a pirate ship. So we're going back to the original boat die, and we're going to pull in add-ons from the pirate ship add-on. So there's a railing on the back and the front for the pirate ship. We have 2 braces, the deck for the boat, and we even have little portholes. Okay? So they're much easier to pick up for me. I got this new dip nails, and they're very hard to pick anything up with. All right, so let's take the boat piece. This is your base for your boat. All right, it is got a divider. Everything folds forward. So all of your folds fold forward, and then you will glue it on the side eventually. Okay, so but first we are going to put our little waves along the bottom, and we're going to line it up with the little fold in the middle. Okay, and so you'll have a little room in between, and we're just going to put a little bit of glue here. All right, making sure you do not get it on the front piece. Okay, there's that little fold in there. Just bet it right up next to those fold lines. Now you can definitely put this on both sides of your ship, but for this purpose, I'm just going to do one side. Okay, see, makes it look like little waves. All right, now you're going to want to glue this 100 times, but we're going to build it first. Okay, it's much easier. The back of the ship has a wider space, and the front of the ship has a more narrow space. Okay? Now, what we're going to do next is we are going to attach a little ship piece that instead of it looking like a boat, it's going to have a big front that looks like a pirate ship. However, we're not going to get any glue in the little space between the folds. All right, we don't want this sticking to all of it. We want it to be able to bend. Excellent. Okay, see, now when you fold it, it doesn't take the ship or take the original boat, and it doesn't make it out of kilter. It just makes the front of it pointy with the add-on piece. Now we're going to add our little gun holes. I don't know what you call these things. They're little portholes, but it's where they shoot the cannons out of, I guess, the other pirate ships. So there's 2 pieces to these. There is a bigger circle and a smaller circle. And I just put the bigger circle out of wood and the smaller circle out of a black glossy. And I glued them together ahead of time. So see, well, it kind of looks like a face there for a second. But now we can finally glue this together. Finally. You're going to want to do that a lot. I promise you. And we're just going to fold it and get it aligned nice and neat and lay it flat so we know that it's going to do a nice little fold in the card itself. All right, so there we have it. All right, now we need to add our back rails. And you will notice that there there's a little shape that mimics the back side of the boat, okay? And if I was more profound on boats and ships, I could tell you whether it was the port or the aft, but I'm not. But we're going to stick a piece of paper inside our little boat, and then we're going to put little dots of glue on the front of this. We're going to line it up and tuck it back in there. And you'll see in a minute why we put a piece of paper in there, because we do not want to get any glue on the inside of our ship. And sometimes I have found you're trying to do all this little tiny stuff, just lay it down there and squash it on there. And grab it before it dries so it doesn't get on the white piece. Okay, we can straighten it out. Isn't that fun? And look at that. You've built a set of rails on a pirate ship. The fronts, okay, and the back. So we're just going to take a white pen, and on this little tab, we're going to make an F for the front and a B for the back. And you guys will understand this later. And we're going to write that on the inside and the outside of the tabs. And you guys will get this in a little bit when we start putting things in there and folding them. It'll make it a lot easier to make sure that we've got the front of the deck with the front of the boat and the back with the back. All right, now let's work on our deck. Now you're going to fold this, all right, but it's not going to be, you're going to make sure you fold it on the fold line, not the pointy tips, okay? The fold is not exactly on that pointy tip. It's on the scored line that the die comes with, okay? Now you have 2 braces, and the braces have little sides on the notches that you can fold in, and I've folded all of these in already. So we're going to take one brace. See how the sides point out? Well, if you fold both those in, they will fit through your little notches, and we're going to do one on the front and one on the back, and the one in the center is actually going to have 2 of them poked through it. Okay, so on the second one, to do those, you just use your hands, fold them in. There's actually little score marks that you can use, but you don't really need to. We're going to fold them in on each side. And then we're just going to poke them back through. The center one is going to be a little tough, so you may need to reach through and grab it from the other side and pull it through. Yeah, it's nice and snug. And then just do the one for the back. And then take all of those and unfold them so they're nice and straight. And that is what we are going to attach our masts and sails to. Let me get these straight real quick. There, those are your supports. Easy. Back, right, in front. So we're going to also go ahead and write an F for the front and a B for the back. And this is what we're going to glue together later. Now, I've already pre-assembled my sails on my masts, just for time. And you can do them any way you choose. I just basically looked at the packaging and did it that way. So I'm going to take my tallest one, which is the center. And it's going to have the little bird basket or whatever that is. We're going to poke it through there, and we're going to align it. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here on both sides, and we're going to align it with the bottom. And by doing this with each piece, when you align it with the bottom, you're going to ensure that the front and the back are the same height and that your center one is taller. It's just a little alignment trick. Whoops, had it backwards there. Let's put it in the right way. Right back through the center, align it with the bottom and just hold on to it. And this also helps by doing this and by gluing it to the underneath braces. This also helps you keep these nice and straight when they unfold. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue behind those little tabs that we pushed through and squeeze them on there just for a little bit more support. That's one of the things I love about this pH glue, is it just comes right off. You get a little bit extra and you just squeeze it and put it on your fingers and it'll come right off. And it dries clear. So we're going to go ahead and add the front sails and the back sails. But if you notice here, I did not put the sails on the back as well. I only did it with the basket and the flag. But when you do yours, you can definitely put sails on each side. So I'm going to put the front in and glue it down. Well, something doesn't quite look right. Nope. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. And nope, now I'm going to get the real front. I think that every pirate ship should have like a skull and crossbones sail on the front, don't you think? I think so. All right, we're going to align it with the bottom again and glue it nice and in place. So now you're kind of getting why we align it with the bottom, because if we do it with the back as well, it's going to be the same height as the one we previously put in. Super easy. Now you can also, if you would like a more professional version, okay, I'm just going to rewrite my B's on the back because I glued over it. You can always go to KarenBurniston.com, and she's got a fabulous video for this on the pirate page. Whoops, a little bit more glue here. And she will, of course, walk you step by step from taking the boat and then adding the add-ons. There's also a sailboat add-on too, so you can make a sailboat as well. All right, now we have our masts in. They are the same size, same height as the front. It's all nice and glued down, right? It's got the front, right? Everything's in order. Everything's where it should be. Now we are going to put this in our boat base, I guess I should say. Now the back has got the wider piece and the front's got the more narrow. We're going to just sit it inside there and give it a little squeeze so everything folds down together. Now this is where your front and back, your F and the B comes into play, because we have the front of the base, right? And we're going to line it up, and if we peel it back, it should have the F on it for the front of our deck, right? And that's how we're going to glue it together. So let's check. Excuse me. Going to get some glue. F, yes, we're in the right spot. Now, we're going to glue all the way up, just to the line, okay? Just to that fold line. Make sure it's nice and straight, and that will ensure that your deck is straight with your base. Now, flip it over. The B's line up. Yep. We're going to put adhesive to the fold line. Hold it together. I'm just going to hold it for a second. Make sure it locks down nice and good. Make sure we're nice and straight. And give it a nice little squeeze. And look at that. Everything is together. Yay, give it a little push. Just give it a little help the first time up. Make sure that it all fits in there nice and neat. Look at that. Isn't that simple? Really, a fold, a few tabs, put your masts in, and there we go. So now we're going to put it in our card. Okay, you can put the front facing either way you want. so the front can face left or the front can face right. I think on this one, we're going to have the front facing the right side. So I'm going to lay it down first. Okay, you can go to the other side if you want, but I'm going to have it go towards my saying. And now I'm going to put glue on here all the way up to the base of the boat. All right. And that's going to give it a really good secure hold. Make sure you don't get any over the edges. All right. Now we're just going to lay it down. You're going to tuck it up right next to the front of the fold. Don't lay it exactly on it because you want to give your card a little bit of bending room. But if you fold your card up, just go right next to that, right? Make sure that you can fold it over. Hold it for a second. And then we're going to open it back up. And we're going to do the exact same thing with the tab for the back. All right, right now it's not going to do anything until we get the glue on here. And again, make sure that it goes all the way up to the base of the boat and that you get quite a bit on there without going over the side. Now we're just going to fold it over and hold it there for a minute and give it a chance to secure nicely. If you pull it up too soon, sometimes the paper ends up being a little wet, so you can tear your paper, and we don't want to do that. So now let's just work on the front and give that a little bit of time to dry. Yeah, see, it works. We just don't want to pull it up too fast. Okay, yay. There we have it, a pirate ship. Now let's let it dry and work on the fronts. Now I have everything pre-cut and part of it pre-assembled, of course, just for time, because we're getting close. Okay. So what I've done is I've got a light blue background and then a medium blue background. Okay, but I want it to be kind of distressed a little bit. You know, I want it to be kind of rough and rigid like a pirate. So I'm going to use my Tim Holtz handy dandy tool from a million years ago. And it's just a little distress tool. I haven't pulled it out for a long time, but it just seemed pretty appropriate for this. So let's just distress the edges. Okay, then I'm going to use a little brown ink, and I'm just going to touch the sides, kind of to make it a little dirty. You know, like a pirate. There we go. I'm going to glue that on there. And you can get the fine line bottles and the line coat glue on our websites at KarenBurniston.com. All right, got that nice and squared away. Now we're going to do the same thing to our next piece. Just distress the edges. And we're going to ink it up. You know, pirates apparently didn't bathe, you know, for months on end. So they were a little dirty. So that's how we're going to make our card. A little dirty, but it's going to smell better. A little bit of ink. I love this. You can tell by my tool that I have it on my desk. I've had this same tool for years and years and years, and I don't even have to ink it up because I have so much ink on there that it just keeps it there for a while. Very rarely do I have to ink it up. So we're going to glue this on. All right, and just center it. And right there in the middle. Now we're just going to grab our navy blue piece and put it along the bottom of the inside piece. And we are almost done. So close to done. All right, we're going to glue that on. Now, I used the same crosshatch banners and cut a back piece and a front piece. I love the little crosshatch borders that it gives these. So there's a crosshatch piece and then there's a straight piece behind it. It's a great die set. Just glue that on there because it's a great day to be a pirate. And that sentiment is, of course, also in the new stamp sets. So let's take the long mask that's in there. It could be a short one too. Doesn't really matter. Kind of measure it up, see where we want to put it. Add a little glue. And glue that right down. And see, I'm going to be able to finish this card in 4 minutes or less, I promise you. Put our big sail down. Now I want to get it pretty close to the bottom because I have another sail that's going to go on the top. But I wanted to show you, I've cut one of the little skellies from the border and one of the little hats from the pirate borders. And I put the little skull and crossbones on the hat, and watch this. You can add a hat to the scully just by tucking it right behind the little crossbones. Is that not adorable? And then I'm just going to attach this to a little small sail that I have, and it is going to go on the top. Is that not adorable? I think I might want like a whole bunch of these as a border to something in my office. I'm not quite for sure what, but they're just so dang cute. And the border die also has the holes that you can use a black pen through and create the faces so you don't have to do them on your own. You know exactly where to put them. So let's just put this next mask down. And on this one, we're going to use the flag. And we're going to use the little crow's nest and another little flag with the knives and the gold jewelry and the little ruby, so everybody knows what kind of pirates we are. And finally, the little crow's nest goes on the top. And ta-da! We have a pirate card. And I literally have a couple seconds to say thank you.